Hello and welcome. It is the 14th day of May 2019. My name is Derek and welcome to the Money Charts channel. All bets, trades, and of the like, that's within each's own risk and their own reward. Most certainly a tale of two totally different markets with Litecoin. The first being that against the US fiat, which since the most previous move, a little south of 100, pierced back down to about 67. And it's been many days since the high, it's been many days since the low. It got above it a few days ago here, and it's just hanging in there like a little bit of a ascending triangle in here as we've had a lot of this resistance at around the 93, 94 mark, and a little bit of this sideways range shown there on the 4-hour term. We can see just how the support has been holding to an uptrend, but still, of course, unable to get above that high. Again, this is a tale of two different markets because if we look at Litecoin against the Bitcoin cross, it's reaching levels not seen since the breakout day on February the 8th. So it's basically a little over 3 month lows, yet it's holding in there very well up the upper end against the fiat debt note. Of course, Bitcoin up multiple percentage points over the last 24, 48 hours, last 1 week, last 3 months has had phenomenal gains. Now, of course, Litecoin over the last 3 months too has had moves that have associated this rise as well. But lately, like the last 4 6 weeks, Bitcoin has pretty much been king amongst the cryptocurrencies. Amongst the Fibonacci levels, that represents 38.2 and 61.8% from the mid-December lows and these highs put up in the early parts of April. As price action did find support at about the 1282 handle. It did so here, and then it had a small rally, did so again, small rally, did so again for a third time. But this fourth time is where it failed, and we can see here on May the 11th it resisted the previous level of key support. It rejected it quickly, a couple pause days below the 18 average of lows, and yesterday having a significant breakdown below it. So I'm going to be looking for this even 100 number to be a key level of support, and it really kind of is. It's a very choppy-ish kind of move within the monthly chart because of all of the up and down moves above and below the 18 lows. And this represents where the 18 lows on the monthly chart is. And if this keeps on going up and below it, then below it would be even like 84 or something. You could say, and it would still make a higher low. But for myself, I'll be looking to accumulate more via that against Bitcoin next at around the point zero 0.01 handle. And Bitcoin, of course, kicking ass. The Bitcoin dominance is a little lower, but it's much greater than 60%, or it's greater than 60%, or around that. As these numbers might be a little bit higher. However, there's nothing to deny how this has just been going straight up, and Bitcoin just has been dominating very large. There was a time last night from about 9 p.m. to about 1 a.m. where altcoins would have done a little bit better, but obviously not so much over, well, since, of course, the morning, as a lot of the altcoins down noticeably, of course, against the Bitcoin. Looking at Bitcoin in itself, it's most certainly in a large, full-thread uptrend, not finding any resistance at all at the 63.5 level, and has just been soaring ever since, as it is up about a little over 1,800 basis points since that point. That level. That's close to 30% just from this high. From this Fibonacci level, that's almost double. And since it really started to get going on the break of resistance on April the 2nd, we have a differential of over 4,000 points, or about that. So almost doubling from this point. And on the weekly term, I know there's a lot of lines in here making it a little distracting, but price action, since getting above the 18, is starting to get really overextended. And with an extendedness, it's usually going to come large volatility moving forward. So I'd have to think that the rest of May into June should be a volatile time. And in viewing coin market cap, with the market cap in at 241 billion, 24-hour volume in US dollars is a little over 100 billion. Dominance, it says here, is 59.9%. There is 2,173 cryptocurrencies. That seems like a large number, and a lot of them you got to be very careful with. There's a lot of scam coins, shit coins out there, and a lot of them can have spectacular gains as well too, even if they are, unless they have a few moves. That's why it's really important with any coins you're playing to always ensure profit-taking measures, I believe, if those opportunities are able to present themselves. So we look at this as far as the last 7 days against Bitcoin. We can see just how some of the larges are. Ethereum's down 14%. 27% against Bitcoin is the tether. So technically speaking, anything down less than that. Oh, Stellar's down 17% against Bitcoin, but it's up against the dollar. You got 21% down by Tron. 40% down by Cosmos. Only like 9.5% down by that of Ontology. So that's doing very well, of course, against the dollar compared to a lot of these other ones. We're seeing a lot of these 20% down over the last 7 days as more signs, of course, within this Bitcoin dominance. Of course, these markets are very, very volatile. And for a lot of people, that's what you need to have to be able to have spectacular gains, because when you're getting 20-30% moves like it's nothing down and oh, this market tripled, whatever, it's done it before a few times, it still hasn't done a 10 or a 20x move recently. That's the type of lingo within the cryptocurrency. And in finishing off this morning's video, surprisingly, not only in under 20 minutes, but even well noticeably under 10. Okay, time for a change, I guess. 4-hour chart has been consistently going up. Single hour term time frame. We had the situation in here breaking out yesterday morning above the 18 average of highs, six nice green candles in a row from this nice one in here. Came back down, found support last night at 1900 hours or 7 p.m. And then several hours finding strength amongst the 18 average of highs. Had a failed breakout, maybe. For it got above it, but it didn't get above it by much, and it didn't hold this general area, but it did come down the 18 average of lows. So this high obviously was much higher than the breakout. The low, rather. This low was higher than this low. And now, since that low was put into place, the most previous hour, 8 o'clock timestamp, it has broken out above the 18 average highs. Just holding in there, doing just whatever kind of deal. We can see amongst the 15-minute time frame how we've had a lot of this little resistance area. We can see it started at about 79.64. It has then since been an area of support in here. And the upper end of this resistance is about 80.68 up to about 81.88. So between 80.60 and 81.80, this is the area I really want to see it hold, stay above for a decent amount of time. That would be a spectacular thing. Getting above this previous high, which is the year-to-date highs, would be back into wild, wild moves. Now, as far as levels where we are, the last time we have seen it, we got an intraday high in at 83.50 on the Coinbase exchange. The last time Coinbase had a trade before today's date at that would take us to, well, not since July the 25th of last year. And then getting above 8,500, we'll be talking about going to levels last seen about a year ago, May of 2018. Thank you for tuning in and have yourself a great day. Bye-bye.